Welcome everyone to another one of our heart-powered inspiring interview episodes. And as you know, every time we have an inspiring speaker, entrepreneur, change maker with us. So we do today, right? Today I invited a wonderful lady. Her name is Swanette Kuntze, and she really empowers people to create a life beyond brilliance. Right? I'm sure you want to create a life beyond brilliance, right? As an intuitive guide and as an international speaker, her passion is to really inspire gifted and mission driven business leaders to embody the full authentic expression of who they really are to be. And, she helps them to embrace ultimate abundance and fulfillment, create a lifestyle around their passion, and leave a legacy for the next generations. Well, Swan, it is wonderful to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Great. So let's get going, Swanette. I always love I love to ask everyone really a magical question. I know there's so much we can do these days to advance our speaking, to advance our business, to make a bigger impact in the world, right? So what are the three things that you do in your business right now or relate to your speaking that you feel are making the biggest impact for you to help you boost your speaking and grow your impact and your income in a greater way? What are you doing? What are your magical three?
Yeah, so definitely I'm in this process, of course, at the moment to bring out my own mission. And I really feel that it is important to understand what is driving you. What is it that you can do for yourself, but also for everybody, for humanity and for Gaia? What is the message that you have to bring out? So not only what are you passionate about, but really what is driving you? What is bringing you out every morning to say, okay, this is what I need to share. This is really so important in this time of the paradigm shift as we are in, that is helping other people to support them, to bring up their own life and to stay connected with humanity and with love. So one thing, understand your mission. On the other hand, find the right places where you can speak. And these are not only the big stages or podcasts we are on, but sometimes it's just when you sit to someone or you're standing at the cash and perhaps someone is standing there and is looking sad. Perhaps some easy words, a little bit what you can share from your own story will help this person. So find these special moments. And these can be short moments where you can share what you experienced and what perhaps can help someone else. And the third thing I think is really important at the moment, focus on bringing out positive messages. We are always or often in this loop of complaining about what is going on in the world and focus on this. But no, we are here to make the change. We are here for doing the paradigm shifts. And so focus on the positive things and spread these words.
Great. I love it. And, I'd really like, that in itself, these three things would give us a lot of food for conversation for quite a long time. But why don't we start diving in? I know, understanding my mission, getting clear on my mission, understanding what drives me and so on. I have so many conversations with people that say, well, I'd love I'm running a business, but it doesn't really fulfill me anymore. I really want to, build a more legacy business around my mission, but I don't really know what my mission is. Or I've lost my fire in the business or anything like that, right? Can you give some concrete hints and tips on how do people find out what is their mission, what gets the fire going in their belly? How did you find yours, and what helped you on your way, Swanette?
Yeah, so these are two different perspectives. So on the one hand, I would perhaps start with my own journey. And this started when I was 8 years old and I had a near-death experience. So this was already the beginning for me to understand that there's more than just this reality we can see. It opened up my six senses. So I'm clairvoyant and precognitive, so I can really look beyond. And for me, it was always like finding out what is happening also on soul level. So if you're spiritual, you can understand that there's body, mind, and soul. And often we forget about what is on soul level. And from there, we get our soul purpose. And from there, we can understand our mission. So for me, it was like very early in my ages. And somehow I lost also my track and went into this red wheel for a long time. But then there was this moment of a burnout where I figured out, okay, I'm not passionate about anymore what I'm doing. I'm really, traveling back and forth. I had a kind of a jet set life, living in trains and planes and hotels. But yeah, it was draining my energy. It was not really empowering me. So what you can figure out is what is empowering you. When are you in flow and feel that you are in alignment? And this can be sometimes in the private space as well, when you're surrounded by a certain environment, when you are surrounded by a special kind of people, or be in nature, or perhaps technology. It can be that you can write and in flow by writing a book or something like that. Understanding what are your special gifts, your skills that you can use to bring out into the world and make this change. And understanding what is a behavior that you do have that really feels that time is passing by and you didn't know how the day is gone, and you felt like really in this flow and alignment. Understanding about your values. What are the values that are really important for yourself? So for me, for example, one of my highest value is freedom and fairness. So I know exactly when I get pissed off, because then what happened is against my values. And often, if you imagine, when are you really feel this, that you're getting angry or something like that, then some of your highest value will be, how do you say, interfered? I know the English word. So, and then of course, what is this that you have as a higher vision for yourself and for humanity, for Gaia? And from there, you can find your mission. And this is definitely on soul level. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And, I know a little bit about your story from a beautiful previous conversation we had, Swanette, but you pretty much, as you said, right? I mean, you had this clarity at an 8-year-old, and then you followed another path in life, right? And then you became a very busy business owner, right? And consultant and everything else. And then you made a decision to sell your business and move to a different place and embrace who you really are, right? But, a lot of people, I mean, they are on this quest to find out what their soul mission is, right? And they start asking these questions. But even when they have more clarity, they don't really feel they can or have the courage or whatever else is preventing them to really make that switch. What got you to actually make that switch and eventually follow what you knew inside was who you really are, and because today with your business you are actually following that, and you help others gain that clarity, and you help them really, yes, create a roadmap and path to live that kind of life around who they really are, right? Because when we do, there's so much joy, there's so much ease, there's so much flow, as you spoke about, right? But what helped you to take that courage to make that switch once you found out that the life you were living wasn't really your life or the life you wanted to live? How did you find the courage, and what helped you along the way?
Yeah, I think these are 3 different steps I went through. On the one hand, I got aware of my own blocking beliefs. I got aware of my traumas that I experienced in this life, and that felt like I don't belong here. I'm small. I don't have the power or control of my life. Also, what comes from my ancestral line, like from my father's side, my grandmother and my father had been in wars. So my grandmother had been in 2 world wars, my father in 1 world war, and they lost everything. So from this line is coming, we can't hold money. If we are in abundance, abundance will break down and we will lose everything. And also this was something that I had taken over, of course, and I had to clear out this kind of belief that came from my ancestral line. And I had to go into my Akashic records, which are the library of my soul and all the experiences I had in other lives, and to also clear out these, because I have a history or my soul has a history of being a healer and being a nun. So we always worked kind of for free. There was a system around me that supported me for my living. So I was not the person who was selling, and I was not the person who had to go after the money. This was always for me, because I worked for the church, or for hospitals or something. So understanding all these old patterns and all these old blockages, I had to eliminate, I had to clear. Next step was to activate my gifts. And I knew that I have this gift of being clairvoyant and precognitive, but somehow I struggled sometimes in my life. I went into drugs, and with that, everything, disappeared. So I didn't have these gifts for a long time, but now I was in this moment that I really had to activate these gifts again. And the next step was like finding a place, and this happened by accident, so to say. I would say it's more a synchronicity that appeared, and coming to a place where I felt this energy. And I left Germany and went to Madeira Island, which is a tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean belonging to Portugal. And I felt this energy. So I felt this energy of the power of the fire. It's a volcanoes island, and the ocean and the wind. And I was so connected to nature, as this abundance around me, by all the beautiful plants and flowers. And I'm sitting between banana trees and orange trees. So this is really like, I activated my feeling of abundance with that. And for me, it was like, these 3 steps: understanding what are my blocking beliefs, releasing, clearing, activating my genius inside of me. And step 3, so what is really the environment, the place, the surrounding that supports me in working as I'm now doing.
Right, I love that. And, 3 very powerful steps. And I know that, not every one of our listeners and people that watch us on a regular basis is necessarily spiritual. So even if you don't believe in previous lives or anything else, you can find a lot of clues in your current life, right? I mean, things you've experienced or you believe about yourself that prevents you from really living the life you want. Right. And then also, some people might say, oh, I don't want to move, right? You don't need to move necessarily, right? Although I think, Swanette, it was a big one for you, and it is a big one for all of us. When we change our environment, something is shifting always, every single time. And that doesn't mean that you necessarily need to move, but ask yourself, like, how can you bring yourself into what, Swanette, you so beautifully speak about, how you activate your feeling of abundance, right? Maybe it doesn't mean that you necessarily move countries or anything, but it could be just going into other places or meeting other people or just doing some things that are different, that get you into flow. And that, as Swanette so beautifully saying, is activating your feeling, your sense of abundance, right? Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. What a great glimpse into your life and your journey. Wow, really inspiring. And Swanette, I also know that you're out there as a speaker. You love to share your story, inspiring story, and your powerful message with others. So you said that you're number 2 of the 3 things that you do right now to help you to advance what you do is speaking and finding opportunities to speak and find the right places to speak. So, where, and I mean, I'm a speaker, right? And, we teach people how to find these right places. But I would like to hear from you. How are you going about it? How do you discover these great speaking opportunities? And how do you make sure you get booked? How do you do that?
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of possibilities to find speaking opportunities. On the one hand, you can see Google podcasts that are interesting for you and for your what you have to bring out. And there are a lot of speaker connections as well, like for example, you are helping people to come on stages, so a lot of stages, definitely. So speaking with you would be a great chance to understand what is a good fit with what is my story and where are the stages and the audience that would like to listen to that. And I often have a first conversation with the host of the podcast or the speaker on the summit who will host this summit, and get a more understanding, a deeper understanding about what is the topic and what kind of audience is listening to this show. Is it on video, on audio, or both? How does my message really support this stage and help the audience to get inspired and motivated?
Yes, beautiful. And you know, we can keep talking about these things for a long time, obviously, Swanette, right? But I also like, you know, I always love to hear like what are some of the things we do on a regular basis that really contribute to our success and to our, you know, and to helping us make a bigger impact in the world with the work and the business we run. So, what is one of your success habits? What is one of the things you do on a regular basis that really contributes to your success in the greatest way?
There are things that I do inside and things that I do outside of me. So in the outer world, I'm connecting to interesting networks like woman networks, or I connect with people who do joint ventures and find power partners that support me in my business. So this is like, I'm speaking now on your stage. You will speak on my podcast, Holistic Creators, soon. So this is also sharing stages that I do. And for my insight, I really have to find balance and moments of stillness. So I go, as I'm living on an island, I go to the ocean and sit there and meditate and kind of clear my mind so that I can channel for myself, go into my intuition and figure out, what are the next steps that I would like to do. Also getting more and more clarity about how my business can evolve, how I perhaps can attract certain kind of people that would like to work with me. And therefore I have to be in a certain kind of frequency or vibration so that I can attract these kind of businesses. And it's like if you have a radio and you figure out what is the frequency to hear your favorite sender, it's the same that you're doing with your own body. So people react on your frequency. They can feel in what kind of emotional state you are. So I think that it is very important to find these moments of stillness and to recalibrate myself to be in a high vibration and then resonate with my ideal clients and ideal power partners and ideal stages.
I love it. And I think it's so powerful because, again, you know, a lot of people believe that we just need to hustle or we need to always do something, but it's not true, right? It's really, we need to, again, as you say, we need to calibrate with the right frequency. We need to take time to gain clarity, right? Then allow things and people to come to us also instead of us always running out there. Right, I love it. And I know that Swanette, you know, I mean, again, still, I love a balance between reflecting and calibrating, right, and getting into frequency and just being and letting things come to us. And then again, becoming active and doing things to really, you know, give whatever we want to create the opportunity to be created, right? So, you know, I love, you know, to always, and we have a little bit of a tradition here on our interviews, right? And by the way, thank you also for being here with us today. Thank you for, you know, following us regularly and really allowing us to inspire you. But as you know, every interview, we have a little bit of a challenge time in a positive way, where we like to give you some activity or something that you can actually turn your learning and your inspiration from our interview into doing right away so you get the results you want. So, Swanette, what would be one thing, one action you would like, you know, everyone that is here with us today, what kind of action would you like to give them that they can do today to start seeing traction, to start really implementing what we've been speaking about here?
Yeah, so I use a 10-minute meditation. So 10 minutes is not a lot, but yeah, this is very powerful. So what I do is that I focus on my different senses to relax my mind and to come into a moment of calmness. And how it works is you start with 1 minute just focusing on what you can see around yourself, just focusing on the eyes, seeing. And you will be very curious to see that sometimes if you look up, you can see the clouds that you haven't seen for a while, or if you look to your feet, you can see, okay, no, there's perhaps there's the earth that you can see. So it would be good to go into nature to do this. So 1 moment just seeing. Next is 1 moment, 1 minute just listening, ears auditive. So you can perhaps hear birds, or you can hear the wind in the trees, and perhaps you can hear someone singing, or children playing and laughing. Perhaps you can even hear your heartbeat or your breathing. So 1 minute listening. Then it is 1 minute feeling. It's kinesthetic. So how does the clothes you wear feel on your body? Is it warm? Is it cold outside? How do your feet feel when you touch the ground? So 1 minute feeling. Then it is smelling. 1 minute smelling. Perhaps there are some beautiful flowers that you never have smelled. Or perhaps there is whatever. A person passing by with a nice perfume when you're in town. So 1 minute smelling. And then 1 minute tasting. Perhaps you want to take a berry or a piece of chocolate that you really have in your mouth and taste it in front of your tongue and back, and just really give it 1 moment of tasting. And then you have 5 more minutes to stop all senses and just connect to your higher self and feel, get your intuition, what is coming through. And then come back into this reality and write it down or paint it, draw it, whatever came through. These are the moments of stillness when all your senses are opened, and then you just get what is coming in. This is what I use, 10 minutes meditation.
That's beautiful, and I can so picture you sitting on a beach and, you know, enjoying that, and right, or in nature, and, you know, around your orange trees, there's a lot to smell, right?
And to taste.
And to taste, right, and everything, and to see, right, and even to listen to. It's so beautiful once we sharpen our senses and we use our senses, what we are perceiving, right? And yeah, it's a beautiful meditation. I'm going to try that out. You know, I always look for little, and I think a 10-minute thing is, you know, it's very doable, right? And really connecting with ourselves. And we never know when we create that space of openness of senses. And, you know, again, we are getting in receiving mode, right? And that's when the powerful ideas and thoughts and inspiration comes. That's beautiful. So I invite each and every one of you, play with us on that one, right? 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not much, right? So 1 minute each on the different senses, right? You know, see, hear, you know, smell, taste, and everything else, and feel, right? It's powerful. And let us know how it goes, right? In our community, share with us, you know, what does it open up for you? What's coming to you? What happens as a result, right? And we always love, you know, we cheer you on, and we want to hear how is it going for you, you know, and what is happening for you as a result of it. And if we can support you in any way, let us know. Great, Swanette. I know we could keep talking for a long time longer, right? But, you know, I know that there's probably a lot of people that say, oh my God, I'd like to hear more from Swanette about her own story. And, you know, I feel that my life is not, or my business is not the way I want it to be. I really want to tap into that space of abundance, or I want to gain more clarity on my soul purpose and mission. People would like to connect with you. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at my website. It's spiritualchangemaker.com. And of course, on most of the social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter with my normal name, Swanette Kuntze.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on with us today. And all of you, connect with Swanette. I'm sure she has a lot more juiciness to share and insights to share. And if you want to bring more lightness, joy, and brilliance and in abundance into your life, into your business, definitely have a chat with Swanette and check her out. And Swanette, thank you so much for being here with us today. You are such a beacon of hope and light for many, I'm sure, right? I mean, there's so many people out there that say, I feel like I'm the right fish, but in the wrong waters. Or I feel like I'm not really living the life I want to live, or I have a sense that there's something missing in my life, but I just don't know what it is. I mean, you are the one that helps people gain that clarity and then craft a path on getting there. So thank you for your amazing work. And thank you for you having had the courage to follow your own mission and genius instead of, staying on the old path, which would have been probably is always easier, right, to continue. But then we are kicked in the butt by destiny that allows us not to continue the way we originally went, right? But thank you for doing your amazing work and for inspiring our community today. So all of you, okay, check out Swanette, connect with her, learn from her, let her support you on your journey through life and in your business. And also play with us on the challenge today, do the 10-minute exercise, and meditation, and tell us what's coming up for you from that. Okay, Swanette, would you like to round it off with a final sentence of inspiration or final inspiration for everyone here today?
Yeah, first of all, it is really an honor to be here and share my story and also the exercises I use for myself. So one last thing I would like to share is journal gratitude. Understand what are you grateful for, these little moments that bring you in a high vibration because you're grateful for that. So my last tip for today.
Final golden nugget, right? And I know it can shift a lot when we tap into that zone of gratitude and we become aware how amazing our life is instead of always complaining what is not there yet, right? It opens a lot of doors to what is possible for us. So thank you, Swanette, very much for being on with us. Thank you all for being on with us today. And as we always say, keep going out there, keep making your magic, speak up, scale up, impact the world. And we'll be back with another episode very soon. But in the meantime, connect with Swanette, right? Do the 10-minute meditation and play with the inspiration you picked up from our interview today. So thank you, Swanette, for being on. Thank you all for being on, and we'll be back soon. So speak up, scale up, impact the world in your own powerful way. Okay, all the best for now. Cheers.